So this morning my fingers are completely numb, and when I do this, I can't get it to go color back in. Nothing seems to be happening. They just stay numb. I don't know what that means. It's not a good sign. Usually I'll get some sort of feeling in them, but I guess I shouldn't be packing too many dishes today, because I'm totally going to drop them, because I don't have any feeling in them. Okay, well, anyway, James is going to come out in a minute and have dinner. I hope I'm in the camera. I never know. So, this is one of my pink pumpkins. It's my last one that I harvested, and as you can see, not pink. But it was from the pink pumpkin seed. And now I don't know if I've had some cross-pollination from my Casper pumpkins or something like that too. Maybe. But the seeds still look like the seeds of pink pumpkin. So, I don't know. Anyway, and it still smells like the flesh of pink pumpkin. I haven't eaten it yet. I do not know. And it's still beautiful. And I'm going to cook it up in the oven today. And what else can I talk about? Oh, James is having baked sweet potato with some avocado, broccoli sprouts, salsa, and cilantro, and those potato things. And then, well, he's gonna have the gross juice, which is bell pepper, ginger, lime, and turmeric. And I put the black pepper in his dish, and I'm just taking mine on a spoon. And then for dessert, he's having pink grapefruit, mandarin orange, anjou pear, and black grapes, and a chocolate. And I am having gross juice and a pear, which I hate. I hate pears. I think they're disgusting. But should lower my cholesterol. Pepper is tough. I love it, just eating it on food, but just taking it like this. I just take it to make sure that I'm getting it with the turmeric, so that the turmeric is most effective. That's all. You didn't? Oh, you brought one of them out. James is going to talk about a book. I guess not the Beastie Boys one. Later.
Haven't had a chance.
Okay. Well, that one should take all of a minute to go through.
No, you send a lot of pictures.
It's just pictures. It's a great big thick book, and yeah. Anyway.
A Democracy in Chains, deep history of the radical right stealth plan for America. So it's the idiots who've managed to get Mike Pence in place in case people decide to execute executive action on Donald Trump. Executive action is like what spies say about assassination. So Mike Pence is in some ways as scary as Donald Trump. So these are like the Koch brothers, two of the richest, maybe they're in the top 10 richest guys in the world. Individually, together, they're, what is it? I think it's something like $60 billion. It's insane. You know, when I was a kid, billionaires, I don't know if they really existed, but At any rate, they don't. They're just out and out now. They say they're the kind of liberty they believe in is the liberty from democracy. This, I'm not making it up or exaggerating. In other words, individual rights trump the rights of the majority. They think that they don't believe in the tyranny of the majority. In other words, they're not going to be ruled by democracy, and the quotes in here are they're quotes, right? They're not really scary because there have been people like them throughout history and mankind. Humankind has managed to survive, and but they are on the ascendant right now, and basically they're the people who've helped put Donald Trump in power, but they don't really believe in Donald Trump. They're a different breed of, I'd say cat, but I kind of like cats. They're a different breed of well, virus, really. They don't even, viruses aren't even living. You know, I know one biology prof who calls them machines. So that's what these bugs are. But no, bugs are nicer than that. So at any rate, viruses. And they are in, they've been working at it for probably since about the 50s on dismantling democracy, they and their predecessors and stuff like that. And they're doing things like gerrymandering in electoral districts in the United States and stuff like that. And believe me, there are people all around the world looking at what they're doing. And in Canada here, it's the same sleaze bucket. Same kind of sleaze buckets that brought us Stephen Harper and things like that. So this is a different kind of right-wing stuff. These guys are much more surreptitious than people like Donald Trump and the white trash that support him. I mean, and the big trouble is they keep on doing this sort of stuff, and there will be people on the. These guys are right-wing, but different kinds of right-wing people that will be going after, they will believe in their own little dictatorship, not the dictatorship. So these guys are class capitalists, right? And Hitler came to power on a program of anti-Semitism, anti-socialism, well, international socialism. He was really a national socialist, so he's a nationalist and a socialist, Hitler was. And so there will be people who will come to power, and they'll be anti-capitalist. And Donald Trump, I think, is just a intermediate stage towards these bozos. So they're the militia types. There'll be people in the military, like Michael Flynn, only worse, will be looking to take advantage of any instability. So ultimately, all that happens, see, these bozos think they know how to run an economy. They know how to run it into the ground. And, they've 2008 was just a precursor of what's really going to happen when these guys take over. And they will take over because people haven't been vigilant enough in terms of maintaining their rights, and they've been silly. I mean, there have been people who've been splitting up the so-called left wing in the United States. It's really center, but a Democratic Party. So it's bozos like people who support Bernie Sanders to the exclusion of all else. People who on the left wing are crying and screaming about Clintons and stuff like that, and how bad they are. People who get mad about Blair in England and things like that. Idiots like Michael Moore, things like that. I used to think Michael Moore is a fairly sharp guy, but when I look at some of the idiots he's been supporting since 2000 in American elections and splitting the vote, I have to recognize him for the idiot he is. Enough said?
Yep. Oh, would you recommend the book?
Yeah, it's good reading. Yep. Well, it's not fun reading.
Did you find it informative?
Well, that's basically what I mean.
Okay, so this is new stuff to you, or?
Well,
Or
I thought
was
the
it-
Koch brothers are basically use the puppeteers for
Juicy.
Donald Trump, but they're really the puppeteers for Ted Cruz. So there's some of the people who they're supposed to be saving us from Donald Trump, right? And I don't know what's worse. Neither Trump nor these guys are smoother. That's not to say they're really smooth, but smoother than guys like Trump. But there's these buckets too. They're looking to get rid of democracy. And I think in the long run they're more dangerous. I don't know. It's more dangerous. I mean, if the people who are attracted to Donald Trump get people into power, they don't believe in democracy either, and they believe in force. These guys believe in tricking people. They're classic capitalists. Capitalists are. I have to say, I don't hate them as much as almost any other ruling system that I can think of that's actually come to power, because, you see, a capitalist will steal from you. Whereas people that thrill to Donald Trump's tunes, and it's not just, it's people like that on the right and the left. So fascists and communists and predecessors throughout history, what they are, how they get money from you, is they don't steal it from you. Why would they, when it's so much fun to rob? And they like killing people. They like threatening people with force. So that's a sad thing about capitalism. Capitalists are awful brutes, but there are worse brutes in this world. And the people who tend to come to power who aren't capitalists tend to be worse than capitalists. What can I say?